What's up guys, it's Matt, the Fruitful Investor. So having gone through my 20s and now being in my 30s, I think I'm fairly qualified to speak about spending habits and passing down my wisdom to the Gen Zs. So in my early 20s, while all my friends partied and had fun, I worked my butt off in construction as a carpenter. I even started my own renovation company for investors only by the age of 22. Now, I'd like to say that I made all these mistakes, I YOLO'd my money on sick parties, and now I'm here to teach you the ways of what not to do. But the truth is, I was weird, man. I did most things right, but there are a few things that I wish I did. In today's video, from someone who actually became a self-made multimillionaire, I'm gonna share what I recommend so you can set yourself up to be even more successful than I am by the time you're 30. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so if you're new to the channel, I've been investing in real estate since 2011. I've owned over 45 individual rental properties and I flipped over 100 single family homes. With also being heavily invested in the stock and crypto market, business and investing is right up my alley. Now when it comes to being successful in your prime and eventually financially independent in your later years, getting started as early as possible is super key. Compound growth is your best friend. It's no wonder why Albert Einstein called it the 8th wonder of the world. For example, if you can save and invest just $200 of your paycheck every single month the day you turn 20 until you're 30 into something boring like the S&P 500, which had a 14.7% yearly return over these past 10 years, you'd have a $51,964 net worth. Not bad. But if you keep doing that until you're 40, you now have $256,000. Do that until you're 50, and it's now grown to almost 1.1 million. But let's say you get really serious about your finances and you're able to put away $1,000 every single month the day you turn 20. I know, it seems like a lot, but it's definitely possible if you make it a priority. Check this out. By 30 years old, $260,000. By 40, almost 1.3 million. And by 50, 5.3 million. This is what the rich know that 99% of people in society just don't understand. With that being said, let's get into the 6 best purchases in your 20s. Number 1, investing in yourself and your education, but not what you think. If going to college or university is part of your plan, that's great. But I want you to learn about money and how it works. Kind of like the example we just went over with compound interest. Read as many books as you can about economics, money, business, and real estate investing. My favorites being classics like Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, which goes over in detail the benefits of owning real estate rental properties and understanding the pros about being a business owner. Or another classic is The Millionaire Next Door, which lays out how any average person can become super wealthy if they save and, most important, invest as soon as possible. These are topics that you're just not going to learn in the school system. Why? I'm not too sure. But if I was a conspiracy believer, which I'm not, I promise. I mean, I do have "the truth is out there" tattooed on my arm, but that doesn't mean anything. But if I was, I'd bet the system doesn't want the masses to learn how money actually works. The system just wants mindless worker bees who get up, go to work, go to bed, and repeat until they die broke. Too grim? Nah, the government would never be that dark. The next thing you want to spend your money on in your 20s are ETF. An ETF is an exchange traded fund, and what that means is that it's a pool of stocks. So rather than investing into single companies and hoping that you invest in the right ones, you can own a slice of all of them to limit your downside and diversify. For example, the S&P 500, my favorite, is America's top 500 large cap companies. If we dive into the fund, we can see it's very diverse. 31.7% of stocks are technology based, 13.27% are in finance, and about 12% in healthcare. We can also see the top 10 companies are companies you've probably never heard of before, like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Tesla, etc. You can probably bet that these companies aren't going anywhere for a long time. These companies will continue to put out great products and services for years to come, which is the point of this fund. Boring. We like boring here on the Fruitful channel. The third thing you want to put your money towards in your 20s is real estate. Now for me, I'm a little biased because I love real estate investing. I've made my entire net worth pretty much all from real estate investing, so I love it, and I think it's a really great way for most people to get into one of the best assets ever on planet Earth, and you don't really need a ton of skill or to be super business savvy at the beginning. You're just buying a house in a great area that's population growth, GDP growth, job growth, all the things I talk about here on my channel. And you're gonna provide a really good product, you're gonna renovate it better than everybody else and offer it for rent. Now you have some big successful real estate investors like Grant Cardone saying you should never ever own your own home. You should always rent. And while I get his point and it kind of makes sense from a business financial standpoint, really, if I can own real estate, I'm gonna do that almost 100% of the time. And I highly recommend that you actually own your own home. Whether you buy a duplex, which would be really cool, so you rent out one half of the property and you live in the upstairs or the basement, however you make it work. Or if you just wanna have your own single family home, your own home just to you, I get it. That's what I did too, but I really believe that you should own real estate because it's kind of inflation proof, although right now we're kind of seeing it go down a bit, but in the long term, it really is inflation proof. It rises with inflation and it's just a super amazing asset that can really, really make you wealthy. For example, we just bought this new build. This is actually our third primary residence, our third home that me and Rachel have purchased and lived in. So we bought this home, super big house, brand new build. We pimped it out, it looks amazing. We bought it for 1.4 million. And I did a couple renovations. I think I spent about 100 grand on renovations by finishing the basement. Long story short, we just appraised it 6 months after moving into it, and now it's worth 2.2 million. Okay, so we've added almost $1 million in equity, which you better believe I refinanced and pulled that out. And now I'm doing other things with that money, and I bought more real estate down south in Florida. So real estate is just amazing all around. If what I'm saying is going over your head, subscribe to the channel. There's so many videos on my channel here talking about real estate investing. The fourth thing you should spend your money on in your 20s is traveling. There is some bit of YOLO that we need to do in our life. We need to have fun. But for me, most importantly, traveling the world, which we've done a ton of, is just motivating and makes me want to crush life and business even more. So I think it's really important for you to work super hard, of course, but also go and travel for a little bit, a week or two. Don't go too long spending too much money in your 20s, but go away for a little bit. And what it's gonna do is just change your mindset, because you're gonna think about, how can I travel more? What do I need to do to travel more? How do I buy first class tickets now instead of coach seats tickets, etc. It just gets the mind going, and that's super important as well. Number 5, you need to spend money on a gym membership. If your body isn't right, your mind isn't right. It's a shame when you see super successful people, usually in their 40s and 50s, usually men, and they're totally out of shape, they're fat, their knees hurt, they can't do anything, but they're rich, right? So they're supposed to be happy. What's the point of being successful and being financially wealthy if you can barely stay awake for the whole day, or you can barely walk to go grocery shopping or play with your kids? Like, that's like the worst thing. You need to get your body right so that your mind is right. When you're in shape, when your body's in shape, your mind is in shape, and you can stay focused and work, yes, even longer, and be more productive while you're working to crush even more and build your business, build your investments even more. So get a gym membership. And last but not least, number 6, the 6th thing you need to put your money in your 20s is cryptocurrencies. This is definitely the future. For sure, this technology is moving very, very quick. And I believe in the next 10, even before that, 5, 10, 15 years, we're gonna see blockchain technologies almost everywhere in all aspects of life. We're gonna have NFTs most likely to be our driver's licenses, our marriage licenses, divorce certificates, whatever. Everything's gonna be going to NFTs and blockchain technology, that is for sure. So if you can invest in that now, in your 20s, by the time you're 30, 40, 50, for sure, you're gonna be laughing your butt off. So what I really recommend spending your money in are the large cap coins. So for me, I put about 90% of my money in crypto into Bitcoin, and I put 10% of my money into Ethereum. So I'm betting heavy on Bitcoin. Why? It's boring, it's somewhat predictable. It's getting more predictable, not like real estate, but it's getting more predictable, and it's just here to stay. That is for sure. And that's what I'm really investing in, are cryptos that are here to stay. I would personally not invest in anything else. This is not financial advice, of course. Who knows? Bitcoin and Ethereum could go to zero, although I highly doubt it. We have the world's smartest investors and the world's smartest people investing in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. But that's what I would put my money in. It's more of a safer bet. One thing I will say with crypto, the money you are putting into Bitcoin or Ethereum or anything else, pretend that is throwaway money. Put money in that you don't need, you don't care about. It's not money to pay rent. It's not money for tuition for your school. You're putting in money literally that you don't give a crap about. So whether it's 500 bucks, 1,000 bucks, 100 bucks, whatever, just put money in there, let it chill, and don't look at it for the next 5 or 10 years. Anyway, guys, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from this old boring ass old millennial. If you like this, smash the like button and don't forget to subscribe to get 2 financial videos every single week. I'll see you in the next video.